And before you get your draws all up in a wad trying to say that it's not right with fraud, yeah, it is. Y'all tell on yourselves. We see you. You think we don't see you on TikTok on these videos talking about your Section 8 housing, and you're in the store with 3 or 4 carts full of food, and then you get home and you start cooking the food and you show all the kids in the background and stuff. Y'all in the grocery store doing the dang on twerking and shit while other people are at work paying for you sitting on your fat gross ass.
Y'all, lady just received 10 years for lying on her Section 8 application. Lied. Now, don't ask me how she did it, but she was on Section 8 for 3 years before they caught on to her. This woman done got 10 years. Now, imagine lying to provide a stable environment for your kids, just to provide a stable environment for your kids. And now you can't even be a part of your kid's life.
Welcome back, Warriors. It's me, Linda B. Thank you all so much for joining me here today. Warriors, we got to talk about this new Section 8 laws. President Trump, the Trump administration, under the Secretary of Housing and Urban Development, Scott Turner. Yes, they are issuing new laws regarding Section 8. That is what we'll be talking about today on Chat with Me, Linda B. All right, Warriors, you know what to do. Don't forget to smash that like button, comment, share, subscribe to my channel, select all notifications so you never miss a video. Stick around to the end. Let's go. Whoa. You know, people were talking about the SNAP benefits. Now we got Section 8. So it looks like there are people, it depends. You got two types of people out here. People who are on public assistance and those who are not. Okay, so the ones of us who work hard, who are not, are going, yay. But those who are on it and who are very dependent upon it are going, no, he's ruining my life. So we got to know why the president is doing this, you guys. It is to cut waste, fraud, and abuse. Okay, fraud and abuse, mainly it's all three of them. Okay, because you know there are videos out here with women talking about and bragging about how they have cheated the system. I did one with a woman that got caught about the SNAP benefits. She owes $35,000 allegedly. That is wild. She was acting like she was homeless when she wasn't homeless. She admitted that she lived in a beautiful situation with a 3-bedroom. She did all that and then got caught. Gee, go figure. Lucky that. Bragging around is fraud. So this, I'm telling you, you know, there are some things I do agree about it. I wish there was a way that there was, you know, the government could check and see who is being fraudulent versus those who are not being fraudulent, and give the ones who have not been fraudulent more time to get their act together, like maybe a year to a year and a half, as opposed to 60 to 90 days. That's just my opinion, because some people are really got themselves tied up, and it's really their own bad decision making. I mean, I know some folks, okay, it's bad decision making. Having children out of wedlock with somebody who really can't get a job, who's in and out of prison. So, you know, these are things, decisions that young women just need to do better. People have just lost their sense of morals, and you don't want to demonize people or act like you're looking down on them. I think they're just, you know, that's not the case. But it's really the reason why people are finding themselves in these bad situations. It's really the truth. Sometimes the truth is hard to hear. But I want you all to listen to some folks out here in these political streets that are giving their take on these new Section 8 laws.
I already knew it was coming. Section 8, they are doing a budget cut. Okay. So those people who have been on Section 8 for more than 2 years, they about to send y'all a letter letting y'all know to be aware about y'all having to figure it out between, like I said, 60 and 90 days. Public housing. Also, y'all gonna be receiving a letter too. They already said each state is gonna receive a letter. And this Donald Trump saying this. Donald Trump made this rule. Okay? So they tired of y'all living off Section 8. They sick of it. So they done figured it out. They gonna make y'all pay regular rent like everybody else doing. But yeah, do y'all research if y'all don't believe me. Period.
HUD Secretary Scott Turner is turning off the programs. Yes, indeed. Paul Sperry, who is an intrepid journalist, reports developing Trump HUD is proposing a 2-year cap on fraud infested Section 8 housing subsidies. And before you get your draws all up in a wad trying to say that it's not right with fraud, yeah, it is. Y'all tell on yourselves. We see you. You think we don't see you on TikTok on these videos talking about your Section 8 housing, and you're in the store with 3 or 4 carts full of food, and then you get home and you start cooking the food and you show all the kids in the background and stuff. Y'all in the grocery store doing the dang on twerking and shit while other people are at work paying for you sitting on your fat gross ass. I seen this female the other day, and I'm like, golly, people are still doing this like it's the 80s again. Like, she has 9 kids, and she's pregnant with triplets. So that means before it's a wrap, she's going to have 12 kids. You about to struggle. I saw her other video, the subsequent video that she made, where she went from making all this food and waffles and all kinds of crap to another video because her food stamps got cut off or at least greatly reduced. And she's making, like, she's rationing food, and you can see her rationing food out. And it's pretty bizarre, but this is what it's come to. So Section 8 is going to be a program from now moving forward. You get on it 2 years. This is not the 80s where you get on it and you stay on it. You think we don't see you on TikTok making videos about how welfare workers. I wish I could find that woman so I could give her credit. She's a social worker, and she goes to people's houses and they talk to her about how to game the system. Like, they've been on the program on Section 8 for 30 years, and then she tells her daughter how to get on Section 8 and stay on Section 8 and get the vouchers, and then her granddaughter gets the Section 8 vouchers, and then it's just like generational poverty. Not teaching them how to be truly successful, but teaching them how to continually game the American welfare system. Yeah, those days are over, bitches. It's time for you to get up and find a trade. These trade schools, some of them are going to be free. Learn a trade. Show your kids that you're not just a welfare queen. Because, see, we're getting the foreigners up out of here, and now it's going to be up to you. Section 8 is only going to be a 2-year program. You're not going to be able to be on it for 20, 30 years anymore.
Boy, I don't know if y'all heard this shit, but your boy Trump has just slapped a 2-year limit on anybody receiving assistance from Section 8, meaning that the longest you can stay on Section 8 is 2 years only. Man, I was just talking to my girlfriend about this, and let me tell you now, I don't see no problem with it. Because when it comes to Section 8, it should not be a lifelong thing that a person can rely on and live off of. Like, I understand if a person got a disability and can't work and they receive their money from the government via SSI check, or a senior citizen who's retired but doesn't receive enough money from the government to pay all their bills, I believe they should be able to stay on Section 8 and receive it the long haul. But for all these able-bodied women out here who can work a job, but all they doing is having all these kids out here and trying to live off the government, I don't believe you should be able to keep your Section 8 for the long haul. Because when it comes to other people out here who really need Section 8 and also qualifies for it, their applications for it is being denied because there's too many of y'all able-bodied women out here who's lazy as hell, who can work a job receiving all the benefits. So yes, I believe Trump did the right thing right here by putting limits on how long a person can receive Section 8 for, because there's way too many people out here abusing the system right now who can work a job. Like, I know a dude right now who's the same age as me, ain't got nothing wrong with him besides he's fat, and he's out here receiving Section 8, and he can work a job if he really wanted to, but he don't. don't want to. So yes, not to be hating, but people like him definitely needs to lose his Section 8 after a period of time.
So the political streets have been talking. Y'all. Yeah, I mean, I've got my thoughts on this, of which I've already given you guys. I feel like people who have not committed fraud should have a little bit longer to get themselves together. But at the same time, if you're able-bodied, this should not have been a long-term thing. Everybody should have known in the back of their head. Plus, President Trump has been telling you this is coming. This has been talk of this for months. Okay, so everybody should have been getting their acts together. And I don't agree with this generational, poverty and generational welfare thing and teaching your children how to, just gain from the government. Basically, if you think about it, people who work are paying for people who receive all these benefits not to work. So you're getting benefits from people who work, but you don't work. That's for people who are on, these welfare programs. Think about that. We work for you not to work. That is insane. And I agree. It should be for people who have a legitimate disability and for the long term, and those who are senior citizens for the long term. I mean, you got people that are young enough and able-bodied, nothing wrong with them. You said his friend is just fat, but they don't want to work. You got people out here bragging about how they've cheated the system. There's a lot of fraud. And unfortunately, it doesn't look like they're trying to disseminate between those frauding the system and those who have just been on it for a long time. But in any event, if you've been on it for, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, like I said earlier, if they've been on it for at least 2 years or longer, and they have not committed fraud based on investigations, they should give them at least, well, I would say a year to a year and a half, depending on the state. And so instead of like 60 to 90 days, it'll be like a year to a year and a half, depending on the state, to give people time to adjust. But then send them those monthly reminders in the mail, email, text, whatever, to let you know that this is the date it will be cut off. That's just my opinion, because it gives people more time to just adjust. It will still get cut off, but give them just more time. That's just a sympathetic mother in me talking, because I know how hard it is. But you know what? There are people out here who've never been on government assistance, and they work 2 and 3 jobs. And some of them are single parents, and they go to school. They got 2 jobs and go to school, or a full-time job and a part-time job and go to school. And I just heard of someone saying, now I got to get another job. And I'm thinking to myself, other folks who never got on assistance already been working 2 jobs. So what makes you any different? You got to get up and just work. My mother, my own mother, my biological mother worked 2 full-time jobs to take care of me and my sister, and my dad worked. So I come from a hard-working family. She worked for someone, and she had her own cleaning service business. And she's much older now and is still working the business. Okay, so, and that's the choice that she made. So I don't want to hear, but I got to do this now. I got to do this. My mother literally went to work at 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. The graveyard shift is what they call it. And then she would make us breakfast, wash up, change clothes, be out the door a little after 8 a.m. to go to the next job, just when she got off at 7 a.m. So she literally had like an hour and 15 minutes. And then she was out the door again to the next job and got off that one at about 5 o'clock, went to bed at about 8 o'clock or 7 or something like that, and slept 3 to 4 hours and got up again to repeat it. 2 full-time jobs. Okay, so I don't want to hear it that you got to work. I mean, for those of us who work our behinds off, you can do it too. You can do it too. But let's learn about some other things concerning this. I want people to really see the real reason why this is being done, because of stuff like this right here.
Y'all, lady just received 10 years for lying on her Section 8 application. Lied. Now, don't ask me how she did it, but she was on Section 8 for 3 years before they caught on to her. This woman done got 10 years. Now, imagine lying to provide a stable environment for your kids, just to provide a stable environment for your kids. And now you can't even be a part of your kids' life. Y'all, I think more people should be disciplined for lying on paper. Stop putting yourself in situations where you have to be taken away from your kids. It's like people was going to go get them stimulus checks. It's like people was going to go get a line on the food stamp application. That's a federal crime. Lady, you lied on your Section 8 application in order to get a place to live, and now you have to go spend 10 years of your life in federal prison? Y'all, this is heartbreaking, man. It's too many women out here, man, single as it is, and the fathers is absent.
Woman right here qualified for Section 8 in the state of New York. She was paying $150 a month for rent. Section 8, the state of New York, was paying the remaining balance to the landlord. She resided in Florida and sublet the place out in New York to a family, charging them $3,200 a month to reside in the house.
$3,200 a month. What?
Yo, her and her boyfriend got into an argument, and he went to the police and he told him exactly what she was doing. It turns out this woman right here was making well over $180,000 a year. She was living in a beautiful gated community, but yet she was charging a family in New York $3,200 a month for a Section 8 home that she qualified for. And yo, I'm so glad that we do have an administration that is, tracking all of these fraud abuse cases down.
So, all right, this is what I'm talking about. People caught in fraud. All right, now you wonder why this is happening. It's because of things like this. That's why they had Doge to cut waste, fraud, and abuse. We can't just go around lying on applications. Someday it is going to be found out. And I've never been on public assistance. I don't mean that as a flex. I just haven't been. I'm sure they have on the application that if you lie on this, you got to certify that what I am saying is the truth, and you sign your name to it knowing that you are lying. So it's not like people don't know that what the consequences are for lying on these applications. So I don't, it's time out for that. It's time out for people being babied and pampered. The Democrats love it when people are dependent. They need a slave class. That's why those of us on the Republican conservative side, we say that a lot of people are still stuck on the Democrat plantation because you depend on the government. At some point, you had to know in the back of your mind one day that this is probably going to end. Well, it ends with this administration right now. Now, if the Democrats ever get back in power, they want to bring those programs back. But y'all better not fall for it, because then again, somebody else might come along and say, no, we're cutting it off. So you better just be able to work and save and make good decisions and stop having all of these children out of wedlock, putting yourself in a literal hole that will take you forever to get out of. And I know I sound like I'm preaching somebody's mother, whatever, but those are the right decisions to make. Just work, get your education, get a trade, don't have babies until you get married and with somebody that is worth something, because some of these men out here are just trifling, and some of these women are trifling. Be careful who you have children with, but some of y'all act like you're so ready to get a baby in you so you can collect more benefits. Well, that is over. Okay, you guys tell me what you think about this video. Give me your comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, select all notifications. You all be blessed. Love God, your families, the United States of America, and march on, warriors.